All right, what's going on? What is going on? It is the Richie Figs live show on July 6th. Hope everyone had a safe and happy holiday. Keaton, what's going on, man? Excited to talk about, we got a lot to talk about. Not only just about San Diego Comic-Con, Storm Arena, all that stuff, but a little bit more, a little bit with, I like to go over the stuff and recap the stuff I don't get to talk about so much after I post a video and things like that too. So we got a lot to do today and not a lot of time to do it. I try to keep these, I don't want to have them go 2 hours anymore. I feel like most of the live streams go about 2 hours, but I think we're going to try and keep it somewhere in like the hour 20. I think somewhere around there. So we're going to do that today. And where are we going to start off with? I think we'll start off with, while we let people just file in, I think we're going to start off with San Diego Comic-Con Jada Toys. Let's do it, huh? Can do that. We'll start off with Dulcim, and then we will move into Bison. And how are you guys feeling after all said and done? I mean, you've seen everything. We saw the leaks a little bit while back ago. What about now? And I can't tell, is Dulcim gray or blue? I feel like he looks more blue, right? I think he looks blue, but I think he's supposed to be gray. He might be blue. It's like a grayish blue. I don't know if it really matters. It really is going to come down to, I don't know. It's like there's so much coming out right now that it's hard for me to justify a recolor at a time like this, That's the problem I'm having. It's like, do I want it? Sure. How bad do I want it is another question. Because it's like, I got Storm Arena figures that are coming out left and right, which aren't cheap, and we're going to talk about that here later on this stream, and I want to really drive that point home. Because I feel like Storm Arena is getting a lot of praise, but there's not a lot of people showing the negative side of the Storm side. There is a negative. It's not, granted, it's not a deal breaker or anything like that, obviously, but yeah. Starting to see pre-orders for AliExpress Dulcim. Yeah, I would say if you're an international buyer, then AliExpress is going to be obviously the best place for you to buy the comic, because Jada does not ship internationally, which sucks. So, but yeah, so AliExpress, if you're international, we can cover that. It's going to be a little bit expensive just because of shipping and lengthy because of time and everything, but other than that, yeah, I think that'll be a good spot for international people to pick that up. But yeah, let's take a look here at a couple other things. I think I want to go. Let's see here. I think I just want to kind of go, instead of going one by one, I think I really want to go just kind of all of them at once. We'll have it running, if you will. So we're going to go there. Going to start there. And we're going to just go. So here we go. Let's see. Image. Where's that other image? It's not that one. Is it that one? There we go. Alright. But yeah, one thing that's interesting about this whole pre-order rollout is they don't really show everything. And I think I said that in the video, is that I was actually shocked that they didn't really show everything, because you don't see some of the heads that they talk about and things like that. So, very interesting there. Keaton, what are you picking up so far? You tell me what's going on there. You tell me what you're picking up. I don't know. I do need another Dulcim. My Dulcim is loose as hell. Its waist has gotten super loose. So, I definitely need to I should have picked up another one when he was on sale for 18 bucks, but I don't know. It's like, do I want to spend 60 bucks for really all I want is just the Player One head and the Yoga Flame stuff. But I don't even use, like, the effects like that either. So it's like, it's a FOMO. It's a pure FOMO situation going on right now. It is. And I don't know how everybody else, I mean, and the other thing is I feel like it's just, do I want a third M. Bison? Do I need a third M. Bison? I don't know. Probably not. That's where it gets tricky. But I'm guessing they still haven't even announced the price yet. That could determine things too. If these things are $60 and then plus shipping, I might be out on these. And I hate to say that because I think I said in the beginning of when I first started the channel that I was a double upper on everything. But now it's a different time, a different space, you know, different everything. So it's like you really gotta. Right now in the toy, everything, there's so much coming out, and none of it is cheap, right? None of it is cheap. I mean, let's just talk, besides Storm Arena, what the hell else is coming out here? We've got new Marvel Legends, Gamerverse, Capcom versus, you know, they can't say that, but it's Capcom versus Marvel. And you look at all those packs, and we're talking $60 per pack. Not to mention the Juggernaut 65er. And then not to mention the Starfish thing is like $70. So it's like you really now have to pick and choose on what you're buying. Because that stuff is not far away either. But with that said, it's like, what do I look at that, it all looks great when you first see it, but then you give it a couple days, this stuff like this, it's like, what am I going to do with the blue flame guy and the, like, unless you're really a figure photographer, or you really just have an elaborate kind of setup, I don't know what good this does yet. I think the effects, I think companies focus on effects way too much, in my own personal opinion. It's like, I'd rather have the additional head sculpts. I would. I'd rather have other things than the effects. They're cool, don't get me wrong, but the effects, for me, just, they're cool, but at the same time, that's all they are. I don't know that they necessarily, they just don't bring home the bacon for me, if you will. So, apparently these are going up for pre-order on July 24th. We did get a date on when these are going up. That should be a Friday. And then from there, it's, you know, we don't know the price. So, if you can't make the event, Friday is going to be the day that you want to pick that up. So, that is that. And we kind of knew everything was coming. I just wish, why do I wish it was Guile and not M. Bison? Like, why did that, it was such a weird, I still don't know what happened with the Guile situation, right? It's like, he's a blue Target exclusive. First of all, since when does Target do anything but red exclusives? So that was weird. And then second of all, I haven't seen it other than the one time. So for those watching this back on YouTube, you let me know how many times you've seen the blue Guile at Target. I saw it a total of one time. It was the time I picked mine up. I go to Target almost every day for lunch. Haven't seen it since. Have not seen it since. Releasing the Vega finally, it clears the way for SDCC for Jada to talk Balrog, Akuma, Andy Honda Deluxe. Yo, Star Screamer, what up? Yeah, I mean, and what are your guys' thoughts on the Vega so far? I should be getting mine soon. I'm hoping by the end of this week I should have Vega for you guys. I'm just kind of done buying off AliExpress. If you want it faster, you got to go through eBay. eBay is a lot faster than AliExpress. I'm going to tell you right now. So, I'm done. I'm kind of over AliExpress. My fellow UK, you guys are both from the UK? I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, if I have to throw a little FYI out there, I'm telling you right now, I think I'm off the AliExpress train because it takes way too long and the boxes come hella damaged. And I've had people say, well, maybe it's your carrier. Yeah, but then why doesn't my carrier mess up any of my other packages? Hopefully Vegas starts to show up at Target soon. I'd be down with that. I'd be down like the clown with that. Because then... But yeah, and then, I don't know. It seems like most people are enjoying the Vega, but there are some things being mentioned that if you don't know, gets a little irritating. Because it's things I've covered. But yeah, you're from the UK but moved to Florida the last few years. Oh, nice. The thing about Vega that a lot of people don't know unless you're like heavily invested in like searching out information regarding the Jada line is that Capcom had a lot of restrictions in their own input in making this Vega figure. June said that, and you can go back and watch the Figure Report. I forget what their YouTube channel's name is off the top of my head, but the Figure Report did a tremendous interview with June in, I forget what con it was at, but he said that it was Capcom that made them change the hand that the glove was on, had them change the hair color, had them change the tattoo, all of this stuff that all these people are saying, oh, it's inaccurate to, Jada puts their own interpretation. No, it's not Jada at all. Jada wants to do it a certain way, and then Capcom says, we don't know that we want you to do it that way. So I was shocked to find out how much Capcom comes in and meddles. It's like, the only way I can put it is like when a director is trying to direct a movie, but then the company that's making the movie comes in and says, yeah, but we don't want her to die. Yeah, but we don't want that to happen. Nah, I don't like that. We want this. So it's very interesting. Blanca was the best this wave for me, then Vega, then Sagat. His details were soft. I hate to break it to you, I think Vega's details are soft. And I think that's something that needs to be discussed on what Jada needs to do moving forward as a company. Because I feel like, obviously there's room for both. I'm going to say everyone collect both. I'm not going to say, oh, Jada's now second behind Storm Arena or anything like that. But if you watch a lot of reviewers' commentary on the new Storm Arena figures, they're all saying it's leaving Jada in the dust. I'm getting tired of AliExpress too. Yeah, you and me both, Master Splinter. I'm sick of it. They take too long, and the boxes come like they were destroyed at a mosh pit. And it's only from AliExpress. If I order from eBay, any of my other, shipping from wherever, comes fine. But AliExpress, it's like I don't know. It was like in a monster truck rally in one of the cars that got crushed. I'm pissed off in the U.S. Big Bad Toy Store exclusive for Storm Arena. What is this nonsense? I can't find Blue Guile to save my life. Yeah, dude. I feel like they did one shipment of Blue Guile and never happened again. I have a Blue Guile, but I thought I sold my other one thinking, oh, I'll see him again. I haven't seen him since. I'd rather pay a cheaper price, honestly, through Ollie. It's not even cheaper through Ollie. It's not cheaper at all through Ollie. We're talking maybe $5 cheaper. If you want to save the $5, then that's a different story. But for me, it's like, it's not that much cheaper. Sorry, but I defend Ollie. No problem with anything other than Blue Guile delay. Hey, that's fine. If you love Ollie, you can love Ollie. I'm just saying, my last few experiences, super long shipping, which is fine because I know where it's coming from. But it's like these vendors that are shipping on eBay that are coming from Hong Kong are shipping a lot faster. A lot faster. So it's like, I'm going through, and my boxes aren't coming destroyed either. So I don't know. We'll have to, I'm waiting. We'll see how because my Vega's coming from AliExpress, and it's going to be here hopefully by the 24th but we'll see. I'm up to speed on the line, but Blue Guile is an exclusive. Yeah. So you have all of them. You have White Ken, you've got Gray Ryu, you've got Red Chun-Li. You've got all those ones. I'll say Storm details are better. I got the SF2 Blanca from Storm, and it's awesome. Better than Jada, but of course costs more. Well, yeah, and it's different scale. So it's hard to use their traditional line compared to Jada. For Vega, it's not a bad price, at least for me. I paid pretty decent price for him. Are you paying through the nose from eBay? Not much more. I mean, on the Storm Arena ones, I paid a lot. I think I spent $70 per to get Ken and Ryu. But that was like hot off the boat. Like one of the first ones you could get. So. That is something. $25 Jada is hard to beat. I mean, the only place you're really getting $25 Jada anymore is Amazon, and that's their first couple waves. None of the other figures cost that. Good luck trying to find a Guile for $25. Good luck trying to find a Cammy, a DJ. Sagat and Blanca obviously are more expensive because they're deluxe, but the only figures you're finding for $25 are like the Ryu, Fei Long, Chun-Li, Ken, M. Bison, and Dalsim. The rest you're not finding for $25. I saw it's cheaper in UK to get Storm Arena, Ken, and Ryu. Big Bad Toy Store is still pre-order, costs more, and shipping. The real story is how bad Big Bad Toy Store has been with the massive delays with figures from both brands. I'm telling you right now, too, and this is just what I heard. I heard from a source, so take it from with what you will. I'm going to turn this up just a smidge. I'm going to tell you right now, take this for what you will. I've heard that they've even been pushed back even farther. Right? They're closer to 30, Master Splinter. So, if you want Cammy, Guile, DJ, you're spending probably like 30. After 30-ish. 31, 32 after taxes. Somewhere around there. And then Blanca and Sagat, you're probably spending 35 to 40. Probably closer to 40. Hello, it's Richie Figs here. I don't say that. Stone Capybara. I don't talk like that. Yeah, the days, I mean, you can still get the earlier waves for 25-ish. So somewhere around there. Still not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal, no. Not a bad deal. But that is the San Diego Comic-Con Jada. I feel like there is some buzz. I just don't know. How many of you guys are getting this? Radamus, Rad. I always want to. Radamus. Radamus Prime. Rad, what up, man? How many of you guys are getting this? I'm still undecided, really. Because there's a lot of things I want. And I don't know how big of a priority. These are going to be on the website for a while. I want you to know that, right? These are going to be on Jada's website for a while, even after San Diego Comic-Con. So it's not like you need them right away. And I don't even know, like, if I review these, I don't even know. I don't know. Hustle, what's up? I hope Jada shows off the Thai Invincible. Dude. They're going to show off the Invincible line, but that's really, like, the Invincible line to me is a lot like the Bakianma. I'm aware of it, but I'm not, like, fully invested in it. Like, it's cool. I'll get Omni-Man and his sidekick, or I'll get the father and son characters, but that's about it. That's where I'm at with Invincible. So, all right, Stoned. You're getting everything from the SF lines, Arena, Darkstalkers too, but not the Baki or SNK stuff. What is SNK? Is that the Streets of Rage? Streets Kings of Street? Is that what it is? I'm telling you. I do want to get into Storm, though. Let's get into Storm. I have a lot to say about Storm and what's going on there. I feel like Storm is getting a lot of praise, as it should, right? Storm is getting a lot of praise, as it should, but no one is really talking about the downside of Storm and what's going on. So I'm going to have this on a rolling slideshow like the other ones. But we need to talk some Storm Arena. We do. Right? We do. We need to talk some Storm Arena. Sorry if these pictures are too big for the frame. That's what she said. Wait, what? Mr. V Games and Toys. What's up? What's up? I am back and forth on whether to get the SDCC exclusive. It was Gray and Red Bison. I'd be definitely bite. Yeah. I hope Jada does an M Bison outfit cami, which is from... Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Jada should have finished Street Fighter before jumping into Serial Mascots or Invincible. Well, technically, they started the Serial Mascots before they even started Street Fighter. Because they started with those Booberry, Gooberry, and Count Chocula or whatever. So, technically, they started that before Street Fighter. Storm equals money. Yes, I'm liking both lines. Fire. Are y'all excited for King of Fighters Storm Arena? I wasn't big on King of Fighters. I'll get them, right? I will get them. Okay, dude, these photos are huge. I'll get them because it's Storm Arena. But outside of that, I don't know anything really about the property, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of research. So, hope Jada does some anime stuff in the future. I don't want them to keep grabbing more lines. How many properties do you guys want them to do? It's like we need to focus down here, right? It's too many properties. How many properties is too many? We're getting a lot. We're a spider right now, and we're just slinging our web all over. Eventually, we're going to get tangled. Right? Oh, T-Hawk does look colossal, and he would be a colossal. And I do want to talk about that. At what point does it just become beneficial to just stop Storm Collectibles? Because how many people are now just all in on Storm Arena and said, screw the collectibles stuff. It was out of scale anyways. I mean, they're pumping out these arena figures pretty fast. A lot faster than we initially thought. So it's like, at what point does it just become... Okay. Dude, some of these photos are just too small. At what point does it just become more beneficial for them to say, hey, Storm Arena might just need to be our main focus here, folks. Jada is already doing multiple lines, so another couple won't hurt me. No, it wouldn't hurt you. It would hurt them. It hurts them. What do you think? How many people do you think they got working at Jada where they can just handle 9 different properties? Are they hiring more people with each new property obtained? Are they? I don't know. Can we talk about... I was saying earlier I'll have 50 pre-orders before receiving 2 from Storm with all the lines. Storm might have shot themselves trying to keep up with Jada. Dude, I don't know what's going on with that. We're going to just forget the slideshow because it's the images are all over the place. So we're going to go like this. We're going to go like this. We're going to go like this. No. Hold on. Hello? Okay, whatever. Hold on. To be honest, it doesn't matter about properties they own. Jada showed us how they can handle it. They haven't handled it that great. Have they? I don't know. I might be on... Every time I say something, I get all these Jada stands, and I consider myself a Jada stan. But I get all these really bad Jada stands that are like, they're doing great. They haven't slowed down at all. When clearly Vega was supposed to be out in April, and it's not even August. It's almost August. Not almost, but we're almost to August, and people don't have it in their hands yet. They're doing fine. They haven't slowed down at all, except we're 3 months past the original release date stated they were going to announce Vega to drop. But no one, everyone just slides that under the rug. I swear I'm the only one that holds these companies accountable. If it's Hasbro, everybody jumps on them and slaughters them as a whole. But if it's me saying that they have slowed down, no, they're doing fine, Richie. Slow your roll. You're impatient. I am fine waiting. That's not the problem. If the problem is if you're going to tell me something, you better keep up to what you're telling me or tell me why. I'm not getting the why this is not showing up. That's the part that's upsetting me. I'm a Jada stan. I didn't say you were a Jada stan. I said there's Jada stans out there that say that. John is, where's the June interviews? Haven't seen him in a while. He used to do 3 to 5 a year. He's done 1 this year. And it wasn't even an in-depth one. They may have held because of the tariffs not knowing. This was before tariffs were even announced. It was supposed to be in April. Tariffs weren't even a thing then. I'm not going to keep... Everybody's had to deal with tariffs. Jada does not get a pass on the tariffs, okay? Everybody, all the companies have had to deal with tariffs. Why does Jada get a pass? They shouldn't. Yeah, I know he'll be at SDCC. That's not the point. You guys are missing the point. The point is he used to be on YouTube channels. Now we get June once a year for San Diego Comic-Con. That's it. Once a year. That's it. That's the shebang. Once a year. You guys are fine with once a year updates. When you set an expectation of doing different interviews throughout the year, I then expect that. You guys are fine with these once a year interviews. Well, that's it. We'll see you next year. Thanks, June. It's like you guys are a bunch of yuppies out there. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's all we need. Once a year, San Diego Comic-Con or bust. It's like, hello? Are we going to bitch and complain the whole stream? We might. We just might. We just might. I'm just saying. That's what it is. Because we collect other things, dude. I know we collect other things. I'm just talking that's where we're at right now on the stream, though. That's where we're talking about. We don't just focus on Jada. That's true. That's true. And I said that. That's why I said I don't know that I'm even getting their collectibles, because it's like there's so much other things coming out that I don't even know that I want to put that in the priority of the price check, because you have the I'm just saying that Jada doesn't get the blowback that Hasbro. Rad, if I was talking Hasbro right now, you'd be pom-poms in the air, let's shit on Hasbro. You'd be all about it. You would. If I'm talking Hasbro, everybody grabs their pitchforks and they all want to, but if I'm talking anything negative about any of these other companies, it's, come on, man, you're being a little rough on them. But if it's Hasbro, oh, everybody's all ready to go to war with Hasbro, even though they've done great this year, and they have. Because they didn't get their order the day after they made the purchase, I'm with you. I hope Storm keeps pushing through. Are you a real collector or just Street Fighter collector that doesn't know much about the characters or lore? I never claimed to be an expert. You can go back and watch my first video. I said, I am just a fan of Street Fighter. I made the channel to share my excitement for Street Fighter. I'm not an expert by any means on the Street Fighter lore. I never said that, never claimed that, never will claim that. There's a lot I don't know. There's a ton about Street Fighter I don't know. A ton. I'll say that right now. I'm not an expert. But I collect other things. Rad Amiss. If you watched my other videos, I do other videos. I do. I've done NECA. I've done McFarlane. I've done Hasbro. I've done Mess Toys. I've done it all. If I buy a figure, I put it up. Usually. I didn't do the Kingpin. And I don't know that I'm doing the Kingpin. I don't know what a real collector is. I mean, I'm collecting what I like, and I share what I like on that. Hasbro's having stellar year. They put out a bunch of phenomenal products. They've done great this year. Jada, in my opinion, is more for comfort line that you casually pick up, which is nice. I get that, and I get that. I do get that, and that's kind of where I'm putting them now. I had higher expectations for them initially, but, yeah. The reason is because Hasbro is cash grab. Bro, they release garbage, lots of garbage. Understand? Garbage to you, that's an opinion. That's not factual. A lot of people like their products. Just because you don't like them doesn't mean other people that pick them up don't like them. That's pure opinion based. What you call garbage, a lot of people like. That's just a fact. Just because you don't like them doesn't mean they're garbage. And don't get me wrong, a lot of their stuff is not top quality. Not. And they've got a lot of ways to, and I think a lot of these, like Mess Toys and these bootleg companies are showing how much they can do at a price point. Not a huge fan of the Marvel stuff from Hasbro, but the G.I. Joe stuff is pretty solid. I like the G.I. Joe stuff. And yeah, a lot of my channel is, I would say, and I think I've said that, 90% of my channel is Street Fighter stuff and fighting game stuff. A majority of it. So when people come in and are like, hey, why are you only talking? I mean, have you seen my channel? It's all Street Fighter. 92% of my channel is Street Fighter and that stuff. So yeah, I collect other things, but I would say a majority of my audience is here to talk about Street Fighter. If I talk about other stuff, you know, a couple people say stuff, but most people want to talk about the Street Fighter stuff. Mess, CT, Demonical, Fit, just to name a few great third parties. Yeah, there's a lot of good third parties out there. My wife says I don't collect figures. I collect boxes with figures in them. That's fair. I open some of them. I don't open all. I'm kind of mixed. Not going to lie, Jada's momentum has definitely slowed the hell down hype-wise. Yeah. I mean, a lot of... I definitely think Jada's still up there. Has a little bit of the wind from their sales been sucked away from Storm Arena? Sure. But I definitely don't think they've... I'm positive that, you know, most people are super excited for Jada. I have both Ryu and Ken from Storm Arena, and I really love those figures, but I still say Jada Toys are great in their own way. No, that's what I'm saying. Bro, there are other people in this community that will have you choose. Like, you can't like both. They want you one way or the other. Stone, what do you collect? Guys, what does it matter? A real collector is someone who doesn't just collect one thing. It's someone who's more than just one type of action figure, someone who likes variety in their figures and quality. That's one definition of it. I think if you are on a consistency of, I don't know, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that's a definition that you've decided to go with. I think a collector could be, and if you're picking up more than 3 figures a year, then you're a collector. To some degree. I don't know that it has to be multiple lines of different quality. Like, that would be more an advanced collector. I don't know that that's an accurate description, but I would say that's more in the advanced collector. Why is everyone fighting? Rad came in here for war today. I don't know what's going on. I'll have to ask him about that later. Bro, Rad, I don't know if you've looked at my channel. You want to go back and revisit my channel. All I talk about most of the time is Street Fighter. So now you want all this variety. I'm just sticking to what I've always talked about. I talk some other stuff here and there, but I usually cover just the Street Fighter stuff. I throw some other random stuff in there from time to time, but it's mostly, you go back and look at my channel, I mean, we're going to say 95% of it is the Street Fighter stuff. So I feel like something else is on your mind other than you just hating that we're only talking about the Street Fighter stuff. Well, you came in here for war today. You want to read the first comment that you said? Are we just going to bitch today? I mean, that's usually what I do on these live streams. Stars, I got you. Did you pass on that P2 Storm Blanca? No, I actually pre-ordered it. But then, I never heard anything back from that company. So I don't know. I don't know what's I want to cancel it now because it's like, I don't want it now. I wanted it back when it was announced back in February. Now I don't want it. That's the thing too. When you take too long on these pre-orders, I feel like if you're a company, I would only put out a pre-order if you're about to deliver in like 1 or 2 months. That's just me. It's like, yeah, you can get, okay, maybe that's too soon. I'd say 3 to 5 months. If you're, it's like, bro, I don't want to, you're giving me too much time to change my mind. And now I've changed my mind. There's no such thing as a real collector. I don't know. I've never put a definition on collecting. We have the Jada Sagat, but I got him from Ami Ami. Nice. Anybody got Jada Sagat from Big Bad? We can take a look. I feel like most people that I've seen that have gotten most people that have gotten Sagat have gotten him either at Target or somewhere else. Like another third-party site or something like that. I don't know I wonder if there's anything, if there's trouble in paradise going on at Big Bad Toy Store, because they seem to be way behind on fulfilling. No, it's still up for pre-order. But I can't shit on them without checking out Entertainment Earth. How have they been doing? Amazing Yamaguchi put out that Ryu. I'm interested in that. Let's see. Sagat. Yeah. Pre-order. Still. When does it say it's coming? July? So they should be shipping any minute. That's crazy. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if that's Jada production or what's going on with that. Would love to see them get the license to Resident Evil. Unfortunately, I don't think that one's ever going to happen. June has pretty much said that's dead in the water. Never going to happen. The people that own the license for Resident Evil, it's like its own one-off property from Capcom that they don't want anybody doing it. So maybe that'll change later, but June says that nobody is getting Resident Evil anytime soon. So you will get your P2 Blanca by the end of this month. I don't even want it anymore. I asked them to cancel it. Personally, I think Jada should drop Street Fighter after they finish their Street Fighter 2 line. Bro, that's like saying I think Hasbro should drop their Marvel line. That's their main moneymaker. Hasbro, you should drop Marvel after you're done doing this Capcom vs. Marvel line. It's enough already, don't you think? You're gonna milk that thing dry, dude. That's like well, bad example using McFarlane. Giving up the DC line, they lost it. They didn't give it up, but it's like, that's their main moneymaker. I don't think they'd want to give that up. In fact, June said that they'd never stop doing Street Fighter. I don't know why Capcom is so uptight about the reline. What do you mean? Told you Big Bad Toy Store is absolute nonsense, bro. You're singing, you're preaching to the choir here, dude. Big Bad Toy Store, I feel like, is gone. Do you prefer ordering figures from overseas? No. I have to because it's the only option. I don't prefer it. I do, James. But I definitely order from overseas, but that's because they're getting the figures faster. Both Storm Arena figures I ordered directly from Hong Kong. So no, I don't prefer it, but do I have to? Yes, because none of these states are getting the figures. Although Invincible will be up there too. I'm sure those two. I'm curious to see what... I don't want to jump the gun on the Invincible line. I do think they're getting figures, but I don't know what it is yet. So for me to say, oh, Invincible is going to be their main... it's hard to say. Because Big Bad Toy Store is the U.S. distributor for Storm Collectibles. Yeah, that's... And Rad was actually telling me that he knows someone or that said something that they're getting pushed back even farther. Their Storm fulfillment pre-orders, so... Capcom doesn't take any chances for anyone to make figures. Well, I think Resident Evil is its own property under the Capcom name, right? So somebody, like, also has that license. Like, the developer, creator has that. I bought all my Jada Street Fighter from Amazon. You can get a lot of them on Amazon. So, if you guys are in the States, if you go to Amazon... Like, if you type in Blanca, you can get him for $38. How much is that with shipping? 38. This is for US, by the way. Prime shipping from other sellers on Amazon. So you can get free shipping. Where's free shipping? Ships by, sold by... Oh, these aren't sold. Wait. Free delivery for $38 on Amazon right now. That's about probably the cheapest you can get it in the United States right now. And then Sagat. For $41. Yeah, it's a little bit higher. Free delivery by Friday. So, yeah, I mean, that's not bad. So, yeah, I mean, and you can get Guile if you don't have Guile. Free delivery, $28.99. Visit the Jada store. You can get Chun-Li for $21 right now. That's pretty good. See, you can get all of Wave 1 for $24.99, $24.94, $21. And then if you come down to Mega Man, that's the cheapest I've seen him in a while. He's usually sold out. Who else? Is there anybody else? It's Metal Cast. I'm trying to see. Where's their other... I guess the other stuff is... Oh, it's down here. Alright. So, Cammy's 30... DJ's 27. Okay. And Ken's 24 still. So. You can get them all here. Tony the Tiger's 40? Yikes. I'm not in on Tony. Jada Street Fighter figures sometimes are $19.99, but they're starting to go on price. I noticed over the last month. I haven't seen one for $19.99 in a long time. I think this is going to be the best, like, bruh. I definitely want to see more video game figures. Seems like all the companies are realizing that video games seem to be the hot selling figures right now, so that's why you're seeing so much. Am I sick? No, I'm not sick. Fighter games are getting huge attention now. Yeah, that seems to be the flavor of the year for sure. I missed out on the 7-inch SNK from Storm. What would you guys think? If Storm came out and announced, do you think that's a smart business move or no? Do you think it's a good idea for them to move away from their standard collectibles line or no? Would you, I mean, if Storm Collectibles said, it is sad for us to announce that we are going to be discontinuing the standard collectibles line after this run of I don't think they can they? Let's take a look at some of the other stuff. Real quick though, but while we're moving along here, I feel like they can get these figures out faster. Hell no, I'm invested. Yeah. Storm needs to finish Street Fighter 2. They are stars by 2032, I think they said. I'm just kidding. They didn't say that, but that's kind of where we're at. That's the joke. That's the joke. I like to buy the old premium figures for them. Storm Street Fighter 2 has been dragging since 2019. Factual. So, how many of you guys are in on the Lilith and Morgan? Darkstalkers. Everybody wants that Darkstalkers. They do take a long-ass time. They do. If anything, they should have gone the 1/12 route from the jump. Well, that was their plan. If you look at the early boxes of Storm Collectibles, it actually says 1/12 line. But, yeah, things just got out of control, I guess. Never heard of Darkstalker? It's not Darkstalker. Darkstalker. I mean, I'm really in on all the Jada. I'm really in on all the Storm Storm Arena stuff, but I'm not gonna be. Do I want to buy all of? See, that's the thing. It's like being a reviewer, you have to be like one of the first ones up. It's like, damn, I'm okay with Storm Arena taking forever if I have to spend $70 on each one. But Dan looks great. Sagat looks great. I think everyone was happy that they fixed the ab crunch. Lilith and Morgan are as good as mine at this point. Factual. But let's see. Oh man. Did I have enough? I'm never posting anything about Street Fighter as far as names are concerned or anything about what they do, who they are, until I do 100%. I had about 90 people say Charlie is Nash's last, Charlie Nash is his last name. So, that will never ever happen again. That will never be a thing where I accidentally say, hey, I wonder what's going on with the name thing. Yeah, that's never happening again. Ever freaking ever. Not even if there's a fire. I'm looking that shit up. I want Nash and Chun-Li so bad, even though the Chun-Li looks die. Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on the Chun-Li? Because it's not looking much better. In my opinion, it's not looking the greatest. It looks good, but I don't know. I think it's just the outfit of Alpha that I don't like. That might be what's going on there. Because Storm Bison will be a centerpiece in my man cave. Yeah, that thing does look dope. I want nationally. I've never been a whole cast kind of guy. If they just give me key characters and fan favorites, I'm good. How many of you guys are in on a whole roster? Out of curiosity. Because I feel like there's a lot of people that like the idea of a full roster, but if it actually came out, I don't know that everyone's actually collecting the whole roster, if that makes sense. I think Storm Arena Chun-Li is a work in progress. I'd say still lacks some paint apps, I see. Yeah. It's probably not... I mean, because when's the last time we even saw Chun-Li? Like, a few months ago? Like 2 or 3 months ago at Wonderfest or WonderCon or whatever it was? Hope we get some player 2 colors for Storm and Bison. Factual. I'm going to ask you guys this one. What are your guys' thoughts? Does Storm go to Comic-Con? Because I feel like if we don't hear something by this next week or the week after, then it's over. Then Storm, I don't think, is going to Comic-Con. Because... first of all, what new things could they possibly have that they didn't show at this last event? And then 2, I don't know. It's getting interesting. I probably almost never collect the whole roster. I just say pick the ones I like from the bunch. Nah, bro, I will never buy everyone, never. Because, like, in the Mortal Kombat, I like that they create a lot of the people, but it's like, the dude with the hat, I don't think I ended up buying. The Blade hat, I forget his name, Kung Lao? No, it's not Kung Lao. Is it Kung Lao? It might be Kung Lao. I hope the Arena Bison has cloth cape too. What do I think? I don't know. Nothing on Storm Arena has been cloth as of yet. They didn't do one for Yujiro for a cloth shirt, and I thought Charlie's vest could potentially be soft goods, but it's not, so I don't know where they do M. Bison. I hope they do. Storm should be there. Well, of course they should be there, but it's like, will they be there is another question. Kung Lao. Okay. I do want to finish some teams. I know that Storm Arena has a license for Street Fighter Alpha, but if they complete the entire Street Fighter Alpha roster first, that would be excellent. But how many characters are in the actual Street Fighter Alpha 3 roster? Like, is that even obtainable? Because you got to think, like, from a business standpoint, they can't make every character because not every character is going to sell that well. There are some unpopular characters in the line. They can't just spend that amount of money to make a figure that doesn't sell. So it's like, yeah, they could make the whole roster, but is it worth losing money along the way? I don't know. Dude, this Nash, Charlie Nash, if you will, looks insane, by the way. Look at those boots. Sorry for the video being... Shout out to Richie for interacting with the chat as much as he does. I try to. That's kind of the whole purpose. Storm, I'd want to finish some teams. I know that the arena has... Okay, I already read that. Probably costs a lot of money distribution-wise with shipping. Now tariffs increase. They would slow down distribution. It doesn't seem like they've slowed down at all. Alpha 3 has a lot, but the first Alpha game doesn't. Well, they're specifically doing Alpha 3, so... It's like 24 plus. You don't need to release each and every one. Yeah. I don't think any characters would be unpopular from Alpha. Since, well, it's not Alpha. It's specifically Alpha 3. Street Fighter Alpha 3 roster. Street Fighter Alpha 3. We'll just take a look at this real quick. Just curious to see who's in this roster. Characters. There is Aiden. Get this stupid thing out of here. There's Aiden, Akuma, Birdie. Now Birdie looks dope. Let me get a Birdie real quick. Aiden looks pretty cool too, though. Dan, Dalseem, dude. I can't wait for Storm to make a Dalseem. Gen, shout out to V. He wants a Gen. He looks pretty dope. Kind of looks like Guy. Dude, Guy should be... I guarantee we see Guy within the next little... He's from Final Fight? Okay. M. Bison's one. Rolento? Rose. Rose looks dope. Sagat. I didn't say Ryu, but Ryu. Sakura. Sodom. Zangief. And then new characters are Balrog. So Balrog's in Street Fighter Alpha 3. Blanca. Cody. Looks kind of cool. E. Honda. Julie. Junie. Dude, she looks exactly like Cammy. But with a military outfit on. Like, a different military outfit. Karen. Karen? I'm going to say Karen. Armika and Vega. Console version additions. Okay, so these are... Guile was a console specific. Along with T-Hawk, Shin Akuma, Fei Long, Evil Ryu, and DJ. So you had to buy specific... In the PlayStation PlayStation version, Balrog, Julie, and Junie became regular characters. And then the remaining in Super Street Fighter 2 were added a selectable roster complete. In the World Tour mode also unlocks. Damn. So the roster is kind of specific. So if we look at new characters, I don't know necessarily what that means, but interesting. I mean, it looks great. I love that Dalseem is one of those. Interesting. Storm has to include bendy limbs, too. See, I don't even use that. Do you really use... I do get that. If they didn't, though, and just gave us Yoga Flame, I'd be alright with it. Because I'm not going to lie, the only time I ever put the bendy limbs on my Dalseem was when I did the review. I never did it again. Jada gets to do Street Fighter versus SNK. It'll be heaven. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Only Jada would attempt to make all 36 characters. I feel like Storm's on good pacing right now. They've got 4 or 5. So they've got... No, they've got 6 that they've announced. So that's pretty good. They've got Ryu and Ken out. Next one is Sagat. Then there's Dan, Chun-Li, and Charlie. That's 6. So, interesting. expensive price. I don't feel like their exclusives are that expensive. I need Robert Garcia. Who's he from? Was he in the Alpha line that I just missed? I don't remember seeing a Robert Garcia. I don't use it, but for value's sake, it would be lame not to include them. Does anybody find it interesting that at this event, there was no, at least I didn't see it, and correct me if I'm wrong, there was no Baki. I didn't see Baki at this event. Is that interesting? One thing I want, I think Hawk, Zangief, and E Honda will be 40 to 45 within next year. You mean for Jada? I would want Aiden and Sakura to be true alpha characters. They showed him off in the background. They did? I didn't see him at all. Scott was 25 for me, thankfully, for a large fighter that cheap. Where did you get him for 25? Jada Toys Street Fighter is where it's at. They will be the first to complete the line. Factual. But to say that Storm's not on good pacing would be incorrect. They've already announced 6 characters, and they've already released 2 of the 6. And I'm sure Sagat will be here by the end of the year. And maybe Dan. Was Dan or Chun-Li next? I think Chun-Li was next, and then Dan. It's the funny thing, too, is Dan seems like he's further along than Chun-Li. They mostly showed the Alpha and T-Hawk. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have other slot, like, they showed off this. Or not. Hello? They showed off King of Fighters, and then I didn't see anything for Baki. Sagat 25. I got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell whenever believes that right now. Yeah, 25's super cheap for Sagat. That's why I'm like, where? Storm Arena T-Hawk is peak. Okay. I hate to burst your bustle. I hate to burst your bubble. This is not Storm Arena. This is Storm Collectibles. If you look down there, in the bottom left-hand corner, that says Collectible. That is not Storm Arena. This is Storm Collectibles, and it's probably going to cost $160 to $180. This is their traditional line. Unless you were talking about Jada. But, yeah, this T-Hawk is going to be close to $200 when it's all said and done. It's going to be about $150. I'm thinking $160, $170. But yeah, if they get to making a T-Hawk, then yeah, it'll be insane. This thing right here, this cape is next level. Look at the cape. Look at that cape. That cape is nuts. I am getting this M. Bison, even though I really don't want to buy any more collectibles. I'm all in on the arena. Getting your Arena Ryu today, you're going to love it. I really thought it was Arena. No. I wish it was. I definitely wish it was Arena. But no, that is the collectible. Along with this figure, this is not Arena either. If you look down there, bottom and this little thing here, that's Storm Collectibles. Not Arena. So this is also their traditional line. Yeah, this hands down the definitive Bison. He's just huge. I bought Storm Sagat for $64.99 in 2019. Raymond, I'm upset. I didn't even know figures were still a thing in 2019. That's why, oh man, did I get crucified for not knowing Dan had a figure before? That was another thing. It's like, bro, okay, I need to watch what I say in some of my videos. To say when Dan hasn't made, they haven't made a figure of Dan, and everyone's like, Soda made Dan. It was like, bro, I was in high school when Dan was being made by Soda Toys. So, yeah, I didn't go all the way through okay, maybe I should have said, since my collecting time of 2020, they haven't made a Dan figure. Like, holy shit. I didn't go back to 2006 in high school during prom and find Dan. My bad. That is my bad. I shouldn't have said it, though. So, Ryu and Ken were $60 before. Yeah. The Bison has aura. Factual. He looks great. The Soda line was so-so. I heard a lot of people love the Soda line. They say, I've seen the figures. They look pretty good. They do look old, but that's because they are old. But they do look good for their time. Get born earlier, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's like, damn. Sorry. I forgot to go back. I forgot to go back and remember that 2006 line when I was in high school. Soda Toys. Yeah, I mean, you look at some of the Soda... You look at some of the Soda Street Fighters, and they're not bad. Even to this day, like, their sculpts are actually really nice. I think that's what a lot of people praise them for. But they're very brittle, I guess, now. I mean, clearly, they're over 20-year-old figures, but it's like, that Sagat looks great. Okay, Chun-Li looks a little insane. I don't know who that guy is on the far right. And Bison looks good. But it's like, you look at some of these, and, okay, Guile. Cammy looks great. Ryu looks good. Not quite sure the name of this character. Don't kill me for not knowing a character's name. And Bison looks good. Ken looks good. Vega looks insane. Like, that's what I wish Vega looked like. Chun-Li looks okay. That looks like that one guy that I said his name and I can't remember it. T-Hawk looks good. Blanca looks good. Balrog looks like... Gin looks good. Like, these look really good for being 20-year-old figures. Sure, some of them could use an update, but damn. Like, pretty good for what they, 20-year-old figures. Who's this? Okay, that's a mix of different figures. The one that I feel like I saw that looked really cool was Dhalsim. Look at this. Is that Soda? Is this one Soda? No, that's... Is that Soda? That sculpt looks crazy, but cool. I heard this thing's hella brittle, though. Like, crumbles out of the package. And there's Dan. There's Soda Dan that I got crucified for not knowing, but there he is. It actually looks really good, too. Man, dude, Soda was on point with their sculpts. Like, that... If you told me that was... Like, their sculpts were really good for their time. And still, like, even today are better than a lot of sculpts out there. That's pretty crazy. A little history lesson for you guys. Soda is so overhyped. Well, I mean, they're old. I remember the Gears of War figures were on sale at GameStop for $30. Toys R Us was top tier at getting Soda figures. I bought Soda Ryu because he came with a duffel bag. Oh, that's dope. Soda lines are on roids. I kind of like that, though. Because look at them. They look like they're on roids. And, like, look at Ryu. He looks like he's on roids. Does he not? That doesn't look like a naturally born lifter. That looks like he's on roids. Look at Sagat. He looks absolutely enormous as well. Like, my God, look at those freaking... Look at the legs. Look at the calves. Look at the forearms. This dude doesn't look all natural to me. He looks juiced out of his mind. They both do. I kind of like that look, though. I hoped you would ignore that comment. Dude, I like the bulkier sculpt. In fact, I was actually hoping that, the Marvel, this guy, I was actually hoping the Capcom were going to be bulkier. Like, that's big, but that doesn't look much bigger than the Wolverines we've got. I was hoping he was going to be a little bit more, like, comic book really beefy. For another line, I picked up Tanashi Studios' Terry Bogard. That thing is a stunning figure. Don't need any more. Is that the one that Mad Hatter did? I saw that he did Terry Bogard from a different company. I feel like that's the one he was talking about. Sorry if you don't know who I'm talking about, but there's this guy, this YouTuber I watch, Mad Hatter, that I think did one on a Terry Bogard, and it looked pretty good. They're supernatural. They just eat horse meat. Storm Arena? Modest toy collector? Is that a question? Did I say Storm Arena? I meant Hasbro. We've been talking about Storm Arena pretty much this whole stream, but this is Storm Arena. This is what they showed off. Don't ever know the names of alpha characters. I stopped at Super Street Fighter 2. Dude, I definitely need to get more caught up on that. Soda SF figures were good for their time. Yeah, they look great. I mean, even today, a lot of their sculpts look really, really good. Really good. But the main thing I wanted to say about Storm Arena is that you still can't get their figures. That's the main thing. I've said it in all my videos. It's like, you're not getting these figures for under $50 right now. And I think the whole, goal of bringing this line to come, to be in existence was that they were supposed to go head to head with Jada in price point and scaling and everything, but they really haven't lived up to that. And I get that Terrace is probably a majority of that, but I think hitching your wagon to Big Bad Toy Store as a distributor was a bad idea. Like, Storm needs to figure out a way to cut ties with that, because it's like, I don't know whose fault it is. I can't tell if it's Big Bad Toy Store's fault or if it's Storm just not getting the product here. I don't like Storm Arena. I just don't like her outfit. I think she looks fine. And granted, I think it's too early to judge this Chun-Li, because I guarantee this is still one of their first prototypes. So I'm not going to judge the Chun-Li too hard, but I do think that she's in early production stages still. So I'm not going to judge her very hard. Storm has improved, but they still don't have figures in the States. That's the problem. Right? So it's like, yeah, you're seeing all these reviews, but none of these people got Storm from a U.S. distributor. Storm hooked up with Big Bad Toy Store because the other distributors were putting their figures on clearance without their permission. So to maintain the value, they stuck with Big Bad Toy Store. Yeah, but doesn't Big Bad Toy Store put their figures on clearance as well? But I guess they get permission. It's like, well, that's kind of the name of the game. If your figures aren't selling, then we have to put them on clearance. Mad Hatter is a legend. Factual. The UK Storm Arena costs the exact same as Jada. That's great. They seem to have better distribution out there. No, you can judge her. I get it. I just think this is an early prototype still. So it's hard. I mean, yeah, if we're looking at her right now, she doesn't look very good. But I don't think she has all her shading, nor do I think Charlie Nash has all his shading. I still think this is a earlier. I mean, if we're gonna go at look, I don't like her outfit, but that's more the game's interpretation style that they went for it. So yeah, I like classic Chun-Li's outfit better than this. But I mean, if we're just going off this, then yeah, it doesn't look very good. But that's like to say a car that's missing a wheel and is still getting built and, you know, has the matte paint finish on it and everything. Yeah, the car looks shitty, but once it's finished, it looks really good. It's hard to say, yeah. It's hard to judge these early prototypes. I don't like the outfit choice for Alpha 3. But yeah. Yeah, if we're going just off that, then yeah, it doesn't look great. But you go to a Bentley dealer, you know, you go to a Bentley factory where the Bentley's not painted yet and doesn't have the right rims on it and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, that Bentley doesn't look good. But that's because it's not built yet. So it's hard to say, Chun-Li, oh yeah, that looks terrible, not getting that. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the outfit. And unfortunately, I don't think the outfit's going to change. But I do. I get what you're saying. That head sculpt on Arena Chun-Li looks like Ryu's younger sister. Well, isn't Alpha 3 a younger version of these characters? Isn't this before Street Fighter Alpha 2 in the storyline? The Morgan and Lilith look better than the normal Storm Figs? Factual. Now that's factual. I can agree with that. They can add more muscles to that Chun-Li. Also some fabric folds to the top. It looks as bad as the sculpt. They showed it before with the articulation in it. That's fine. Good God. Can Chun-Li get a break? Holy crap. Give her some slack. She's had a rough time. Remember the prototype Cammy figures looked horrible? Factual. That's what I'm saying. It's like, we don't know what stage of production this Chun-Li figure is in. If this is one of the final prototypes, then sure, you can shit all on it. But it's like, damn. We don't even know how far along it is. For all we know, this is like one of the first two. We probably won't even see this figure till next year. So cut her some slack. Damn it. Well, Stars, go ahead and hit me up and send that shit over to me ASAP. Quinley. Ah, I see where you're going here. I was like, who the hell's Quinley? I'll give you a Quinley. Is this Quinley? So, you can turn her into Chun-Li. That's crazy. How much is this thing? Uh-oh. Dude, this is one of those figures that it's like, you can take her top off and, like, she can have, like, tits and stuff. It looks great. But I don't know if I need, like, this looks like one of those seductive figures that you see on, like, AliExpress and shit. Because right here, I mean, we're talking, like, good God, how many dudes are going to take that top off and, like, it's like, Jesus. I don't know. It looks great, but I'm telling you, we're getting to, like, the seductive. It looks like, kind of like this. Those really seductive figures that are absolutely nuts. So it's like, I don't know where to draw the line. It looks great, but it's like, damn, I don't need my Chun-Li posing like that. Now that's the way a Chun-Li should look. Factual. Oh, I see what you're saying. Hello, beauty. Oh. I'm almost done, yeah. Yeah. Do you think we get Walmart Blue Cami P2 shown at SDCC? I'd be down with that. I don't want it to be Walmart, but, you know, if we can get that, that'd be cool. Oh, yeah. How much is this thing? It doesn't even say how much this thing is. But let's go back. Sorry, one sec. It says 14. I saw it at Big Bad Toy Store, though. Quinn Lee action figure. So they have it for $99. Dude, have you noticed what the hell's going on? I think, look at this new thing they've done. All the figures I see now need a $10 down, non-refundable down payment. That's what is going on with Big Bad Toy Store. They must be hitting hard. Is that like that for all of them? I have noticed so many figures now, you need a deposit down. Okay. I guess it's only on premium figures because it's like, damn, what is this new $10 charge down or whatever? Okay, that's in stock. It's like, hold on. Okay, 54. Okay, I guess it's just on figures $100 and more because it was like, I've seen that too much lately where it's like, please deposit $10 down if you want this figure. It's like, no, I don't want to. It's fine. What is $10? But just saying. Dude, I don't even buy anything from Big Bad Toy Store anymore. They've gone nutty. It's like $100. Toys and Starman also makes sexy Chun-Li figures. That's fine. Hey, I don't need one is what I'm saying. You guys can love a sexy Chun-Li figure. You know what? You want to have her posed all crazy like she's in freaking Hustler magazine? That's fine. Go do it. I don't want that in my Chun-Li. I just want the normal Chun-Li. I don't need XXX Chun-Li in my collection. Even though that figure does look great. I sound like a prude. But it's like, damn. I have that on my shelf. I'm going to start getting questions from the missus. Feel bad for you guys. Big Bad Toy Store is your main source and they're a scam. That's not my main source. I don't know who you're speaking to specifically, but they ain't my main source. All right, boys. I am going to call the stream. I appreciate everyone coming out and hanging out. I'm sorry we went a little off the rails, but, you know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's all just for fun. It's just a collect, you know, it's a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be crazy and, like, all that stuff, but I love you all. I will see you on the next video. Later.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move on!